Setting up ACES with Houdini is actually pretty easy. Here's an image with ACES, and here's an image without. The image without really sucks because we have clipped out highlights, our grays are very dull, and we don't have much detail in the shadows. With ACES, we have all that detail. Start out by going to opencolorIO.org. Then go to Documentation, go to Quickstart for Artists, then go to Downloads. If you click this zip right here under Sample OCIO Configurations, nothing will happen. But if you right-click and say Open Link in New Tab, all of a sudden it downloads. Once you've downloaded this chunky file, go ahead and double-click it a couple of times. Look for ACES 1.0.3 or whatever the latest version is, and drag it over to your own folder. In this case, I have Documents, OpenColorIO. Inside the folder, we have this config.ocio, and now we want to tell Houdini to load this in whenever it boots up. So going back to Documents, we can say Houdini 18.5, go to our Houdini environment variable, and say OCIO equals a path to that config file. So we have this /config.ocio. Go ahead and save that. And just to make sure that this worked, go to Edit, Color Settings, and be sure that under Color Correction, we're loading in this OCIO config that's specified to the path you just made. If it found it properly, you should notice that your viewport has this interesting blue gradient by default. Now if we render something, we're working with ACES space, and if we right-click, we can say Color Correction and change the implementation of ACES that we would like. So this is asking you what your monitor is, and in this case, if we say Rec 709, that's going to be great for most situations. So say Rec 709 and you're all good to go. From now on, you'll also need to convert all your HDR files as well as any textures that are responsible for color. So to do this, I use Pico Color Space Converter, and I highly recommend that you use this as well because it makes it really easy to convert a bunch of files. As an example, I have a library of HDRs, and all I need to do is drag them in like so. I need to specify the color space that they're currently in, which right now is going to be Utility, Linear, sRGB. And then I go down here and say EXR, keep them at 32, export to a new folder. And in this case, I've made this ACES OCIO folder. Once we do that, we need to apply this color space to all of these images right here, and then we press this button down here. You'll also want to be sure to convert any texture maps that you're using to ACES as well, but you only want to do that on anything that's responsible for the color of an object. So that means your albedo maps, your diffuse color, your subsurface color, anything again related to the color that you actually see. Do not convert normal maps, displacement maps, bump maps, roughness maps, anything that deals with the signal that drives a shader. You only want to do this for the color. And when you do that for the color, instead of saying utility linear sRGB, you want to say utility texture sRGB. And that is a quick start to ACES with Houdini. Now there's obviously a lot more to be said about what just happened, so if you like tutorials that are thorough, simplified, and straight to the point, then visit cgforge.com for more. Thanks for watching.